A new Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4 Part 2 trailer and several first-look images that hint to a dramatic showdown have been released by Starz. A new video emphasizing that no one is safe raises the stakes for the emotionally charged final episodes. On Friday, September 6th, at 8 p.m. in the US, Starz will debut the second installment of the final season. Starting at midnight, you may watch episodes on the Starz app. Unanswered, crucial questions were revealed in the first half of Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4, and Tariq discovered he is Diana's baby's father. In Part 2, the proverb, like father, like son, will be discussed. Tariq finds himself in an eerily similar situation, just like his late father, Ghost, stuck between a rock and a hard place, with the choice to leave the game or take over, according to the official summary of Chapter 2. The Tejada family becomes aware that their safety is not assured after being entrapped by Detective Carter. Monet battles valiantly to bring her family back together, but is it too late? Nomar is climbing the food chain to become the dominant species. Meanwhile, her daughter, Anya, gets too close to the game, forcing Nomar to think twice about. There was this ancillary perspective of Effie in the first Power. You can now explore her past and the reasons behind her acts in greater detail. Alex Lapri, it seems unreal. It took me a while to come to terms with the fact that it would indeed happen. When your role develops and becomes deeper and more sophisticated, it feels validated. As an actor, you get to explore new areas. Last season, she was still a mystery, in my opinion. She captivated everyone, and they all wanted more. She would simply appear and disappear whenever she felt like it. We do have quite a few things in common, but for the most part, we are very different. With Effie, as you said, she will stop at nothing to get what she needs. She will hurt anyone in the process, get into trouble and not really care at all. With me, I'm very sensitive. My relationships mean the most to me, more than anything. We're different in that she can be cold, and I'm a warm spirit. There is a contrast, but we are similar in that I have an edgy side. My energy is strong and bold when I enter a room. The aftermath of Season 3's traitorous finale finds Tariq St. Patrick outmatched and outgunned. After finding himself bested by those he placed trust in, his and his family's lives threatened, Season 4's Tariq is determined to never allow that to happen again. His plan is to crush everyone who went against him because the best way to stay safe in the game is to run the game. It's not enough to kill his enemies, he's going to make them wish he had, granting them a fate worse than death. Where we've seen Tariq dream of being free from the game last season, we now see Tariq determined to sit at the top of the pyramid. Because the only way to stay on top is to cripple anyone else's chances of climbing up from the bottom. After escaping death with the help from Brayden, the two begin to plot to kidnap Nomar's daughter Anya. As they kill Nomar's henchman, they are too late to kidnap her. Dru and Diana kidnap Becca and calls Brayden to come to P90 with Tariq or he will kill her. Diana leaves to visit Monet in the hospital who is still in a coma. Tariq begs Brayden to think it through and believes it's a trap but Brayden ignores him anyway to save Becca. Tariq calls Davis who tell him that Noma, Effie, and the Tejadas are all against him but finds out Davis may get disbarred. As he races to save Brayden and Becca, he crashes into Dru in a pickup truck and shoots at him who reveals he knows about Dru and Diana's plot to get rid of Monet. After Brayden is disowned by his family, Tariq and Brayden vow to stick with each other and kill their enemies but with a 100k bounty each on their head, they head to Stansfield to retrieve money in order to leave town. Tariq receives a text from Effie that Kane is there to kill him and Brayden with there being others on campus. So both of them escape to the school campus parking lot, where they bumped into Agent Junior Valdez who questions Tariq about the green cards he and Tate got for Obi and he reveals
Tariq St. Patrick's, Michael Rainey Jr., mission to free himself from his father's shadow and rise to apex predator status is already in play in Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4 Part 1. The crime drama series has delivered on twists and turns we've come to expect and then some as he looks to build his own empire. So, now that we know there's more of Tariq and co to come, here's everything we know about when exactly Ghost will be back on our screens. Power Book 2, Ghost Season 4 Part 2 will arrive on September 6 following the show's mid-season break. Still, the breakneck pace of this spin-off and Tariq's ascent toward independence once he graduated always felt like the series had a built-in end date in mind. But even so, the series was such a massive success that it would have made perfect sense to continue. However, it's not out of the realm of possibility to see Tariq or others show up on the only other Power Universe series that takes place in the present day. One way to keep the Power Ghost and the legacy going would be to incorporate one or more characters into the Power book for Force World. You may wonder why anyone from New York would find themselves in Chicago. And I would say, why the hell not? I have no doubt the Power writers could convincingly find a reason for Tariq, Brayden, Kane, or even someone like Effie to find themselves in Chi-Town and running in the same circle. While September might seem ages away, it's closer than it feels, which means if we're going to get a trailer it would be within the next few weeks. We'll keep our eyes peeled for you. It's bittersweet knowing this is the last season premiere for Power Book 2, Ghost, but boy, did they bring the heat for this final run. It's shaping up to be Tariq and Brayden against the world, but considering this is the Power Universe, it's probably safe to assume they will throw a few curveballs our way before it's curtains on this special series. Oh, man, the evolution between Brayden and Tariq, it's been a rocky road. It's been a rocky road. Brayden had his situation with Riley, and Tariq wasn't a huge fan of that. And they always have their little disagreements and stuff, but at the end of the day, they always find their way back to that brotherhood like, yo, I got your back, no matter what's happening. So, this season, that's their story right there. I got your back. They're the only two. Everyone else flipped on them. So, that brotherhood factor will have to play a bigger role this season. And you guys, when the news came that Power Book 2, Ghost was ending, I'll admit it floored me. Since the ending of the original Power, the continued universe has seen much success. Still, being the first and a direct continuation of the original, Power Ghost has probably amassed the greatest popularity. But they say all good things must come to an end, and the end of Ghost has me wondering what happens next for the long-standing franchise. Tariq found himself in a much different position than Ghost did at his age. While Ghost had to work his way up through adulthood, Tariq was born into money and resources. That would be a way to keep the spirit of Power Ghost alive after a cancellation that's left many fans reeling. The Power universe has always been about continuing the stories that Power began, introducing new ones, and incorporating players from the original series into the spin-offs has always paid off. It would be a crime not to see anyone from that first spin-off again. Speaking of Power Force, with it being the only true extension of the original, hopefully, they are given continued time to grow and tell Tommy's story. Through 2 seasons, it feels like they've only scratched the surface of what Power Force could be, and they have another season to continue building the Chicago drug-dealing landscape and Tommy's pursuit of taking it over. They say power never dies, and there's no reason why Tommy's story couldn't be the eventual jumping-off point for another spin-off that expands the franchise even further. That could be through a character we already know or one who hasn't been introduced yet. But there's room to continue this universe in the present day if you put enough care into developing a generation beyond Tariq.